down the hammer and pick up the pencil. You're about to listen to the Savvy Radio Show. Learn from real-life real estate investors, experience revealed with the Savvy Landlord as your host.
Hey, what's going on, Savvy Investors? This is your friend, Steve VanCauwenbergh. Man, there's a lot going on. Actually, a lot of great things going on. Savvy Investors officially has relaunched the website. It's still in working. And we are in the process of creating a platform of education that's going to be incredible. So when you are looking to do a lease option or you're looking to raise private money and you need, instead of going on YouTube for 10 hours trying to find crap stuff that someone just made up, we got tried and proved content that we are going to be rolling out in the next several months. So get ready for that. You can go to Savvy Investors right now and poke around, but it's about to get real nutty, sick. And that's where I've been excited and been working on writing new content, just doing relevant, man, I guess struggle with certain words. Applicable, whatever, relevant content that you could use and apply. And also I've learned lately how to really walk people through things. So I was hanging out with a savvy investor. Within less than a year, acquired 9 units, about a year, and just one of my just heroes and friends, and just picked up the pieces and just dominated. He was giving me some tips on the podcast, and he said this thing to me one time that really just excited me, and I never told him this. He's like, man, sometimes I binge on the podcast. I was like, wow, I didn't know. And someone said the other day that that you can get a whole real estate education just listening to the podcast. And so the two folks that said that to me really filled my cup, and I appreciate it. And some other people text me not too long ago, and I haven't responded to you, and I will. And you just encouraged me. And someone wrote me a letter too. Hey, man, I appreciate that stuff. I've been up and down working on this marathon, and there's been some dark days, and there's been some positive. And now I know that we're human, right? The savvy landlord, whatever, struggles just like you. I cry, I fail, I eat food I shouldn't be eating yet. I had some cheese in there. Sorry, children. I had some cheese. And, you spiral out in the wrong way. And then how do you get back up? And so I actually went through some dark times last couple of weeks. And what motivates me? What gets me going? And I can tell you right now, just your words of encouragement. And I think we as a society, we have this fake highlight reel on Facebook that, and then you got the dramatic people that just say that they hate life and they suck. And so there's no authenticity of life. I try to be authentic out there. And I just, we just got to remember, everyone needs a hug. Everybody needs a smile. It don't matter where you come from. We're human. We bleed red blood. So give somebody a hug. But I'm trying to get back on it. But anyway, so my homeboy gave me a great idea. Once you do walk through Wednesday, and I'm like, dude, that's bomb. He's like, tell me exactly how you do it, start to finish, beginning and end. And I was like, dude, that is a phenomenal idea. So he told me that about a month ago, and I've been writing these walk through Wednesdays, but every time I try to cut one, it's like Thursday. And then I'm like, just forget I'm going to call it walk through somebody, walk through Wednesday, walk through Friday, but it's a walk through. And I was helping a friend the other day check out a property, and I had another friend with me. I'm like, listen, this is how I do it, start to finish, when I go to a property. So get ready. Get some pens, some paper, put down the hammer, pick up the pencil. Yeah, we're going to do it today. This is how I walk through a property. First of all, number one, I arrive early. Yep, I arrive. So the dude, the wholesaler, realtor, it don't matter who it is. And this is all psychological. So you're going to agree with me or you're going to hate me. I don't know. And I'm not saying this is perfect science. This is how I do it. Now, you can critique me. You can give me some feedback. I'd appreciate it. Someone told me the other day, someone that I love too, they said, man, Steven, you have a polarizing personality. And I was like, I couldn't even tell you the word polarized. Like, what does that mean? Like, I kind of like a different perspective. They love you or they hate you. And I was like, at first, I was like, man, I love real friends that really tell you how you feel. And I'm just going to be honest with you. I love everybody. Some people just don't like me because I'm just forward or just to the point, or I might say Hispanic accidentally, on a roofer. And so it's not politically correct. So I just want to get that out there. Hey, if I have offended you in any way, let me know. I'm not trying to. I don't use certain words anymore because they hurt some people. I didn't mean to say that stuff. And this is not the time to go into it. But thanks for your grace. Thanks for your support. Thanks for giving me your time and attention and coming to classes and buying my book. And I don't tell you enough, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. But this is how sorry about all these side notes. Let's get to it. First of all, I arrived to the property at least 15 minutes early. And what I do is I drive around the property slow, creep, and I just take a look at every single vehicle. First of all, if there's too many vehicles on in driveways during the day, they should be at work. And you could take that on to your own interpretation. Is it the hood? Why is this an off day? Is it a holiday? But that's one thing. Then I look at every house. What's the roof look like? Are people maintaining the property? Are people parking on the grass? Okay, so these are just depends on where you're buying property. This property that I walked through is in a nice area in a great school district. It's a money house, probably worth about $100,000. Now this boo-boo wholesaler tries to show up pricing it at 80, and it needs at least 20. So I mean, come on, man. But listen, this investor is bomb, and I told her that I'd do her a favor, and I came out there. So and then at the same time, I coached her while I was out there, and I was like, let's write this down. So this is where all this is coming from. So I arrived 15 minutes early. I park in the driveway. Why? I established dominance. So I get there before someone else. It puts them back on their heels, which I'm controlling the situation. Now, this doesn't happen every time. I don't get to every property on time. Sometimes I get to the property later and I'll park in the front, but I'm making a grand entrance. Say it with me, grand entrance. Think of it as a wedding, grand entrance. Now, when I do get there early, I'm already walking around the property. And usually if a realtor showing me the property, they make them a little uncomfortable. Like, ooh, they're late. Ooh, what is he doing? What I'm doing right here is I'm establishing that I'm concerned, that I'm motivated, and I don't take it lightly. These are all just subconscious clues of authority, okay, or dominance. I have the upper hand. I know someone's going to critique me on that, but hey, that's how I think about it. So I walk around the property first. Now, the main reason why I walk around the property before anybody's there, if there is a squatter in the property, and that, I'm telling you, there's been squatters in Edmond in a burnout that have been chilling in there, some punk rock kids on another part of town where there's drug deals going down. So I always walk around the house slowly and make a little noise. One, if I can see the dog, if there's a dog. Two, if there's a dog next door, so I don't just jump out of my skin. And if there's a squatter, I give them enough opportunity to run out of the back and run out the front. Okay, that's one reason why. And it's just mainly for safety. And so, and I look at the outside exterior because those are the biggest expenses that I'm going to occur. I think a lot of investors go to a property, they jump inside the property, they want the property, they're so emotional, they think it's minor cosmetic, and then they really forget to look at the outside with a keen eye. And we're all emotional in this game because we want to buy assets. And assets are rare right now, so we're jumping and overpaying because this wholesaler is overcharging, and people are actually considering this, and you get emotional and you turn a blind eye. So what I do is it's outside, it's cold, and I look at the roof. I look at if it has drip edge. I look at the soffit and the fascia. The fascia is what's facing you. The soffit is what's above. Those are not easy repairs, and they take skilled handyman to do it. And if you've never done construction before, it's going to charge you a pretty penny to get that done because it's kind of ladder work, and it's just not, the material is not expensive, but you also have to paint it. So you got to rip it down, put it back up, and then if it's drip edge, and so you know if it's a good roof or not, or if it's been modern. This house I was looking at didn't have drip edge, and then there was a lot of rot. And so you kind of I look at the roof, and then I take a picture I take pictures everywhere. You want to take as many pictures as possible. Get on the property, take a picture. Get on the side, take a picture. And back to my original thing, why I walk around, I actually bought a 5-plex in Mesa Park years ago. So excited. I got the green light on a bunch of money, and I just walked through this price and bought it like a dummy. And one day I went back after I closed. On the side of the second unit, the bricks were off. I mean, my heart sank because I didn't do good due diligence. Yep, Steve VanCauwenbergh, Savvy Somebody, has bought bad property, and I actually broke even on that property, Mesa Park. Now, I actually in this little 5K the other day, and side note, I ran by it the other day, and I was with my son. I'm like, boy, one time we owned that property. And we sold it, but we didn't make no money. But I kept running. That was a 5K we just did. And I recommend doing a 5K every Thanksgiving. Get that turkey on the lock. Anyway, side note. So you walk around this deal. You check it out. You look at the condenser. Take a picture of the condenser's tag. You want to get the serial number of the condenser for 2 reasons. One, if the parts are still available, what the tonnage is. You want to know what the tons are? The serial number and the model number, and ultimately you want to know what Freon is in this. You want to know if it's an R22 or a 410A. If you don't know that, real quick side note, R22 is no longer in existence. It's a legal law. You're not allowed to sell that Freon anymore. You have to sell 410A. So right there, that unit is going to cost you money because you can't get Freon and you got to convert it over to 410A. That's going to cost you money. So you got to factor that in. Now, if you were a rookie investor, if you didn't listen to the Savvy podcast, you would have just bought the crib, thought it was a nice little condenser because it looked nice, but it was old. So then you look at, I noticed that the pipe jack, which is the rubber around the weatherhead, was leaking. And so that's going to be a repair. I noticed that the Cox Communication Cox line was pulling on the property, was pulling the fascia off the property again. So just outside around this property, it looks nice. Our tenant just left. It needs a roof. The trees are jacking the property up. It needs new fascia. It needs a repair. It needs drip edge. You see what I'm saying? So right now, just on the outside, if you did it on the retail, in the condenser, at least a G to convert that. So you're looking at least $5,000-$6,000. So if I was a rookie investor, thought I bought this property right now, just walking around the property, it was 86. I mean, it would be at least $5,000 or $6,000. So I'd be 85, 86,000 already. And then all the windows were aluminum. And if you notice, if you look at the windows directly, all the caulk that goes, the seals of windows were all deteriorated and shrank up, and it was holes everywhere. There's water going into all these windows because the time has ran out on this property. Now you're taking this burden on. So that's what I do basically around the exterior. And I also act like Dick Tracy, meaning I'm trying to find what type of owner was this? Was this someone that loved the property and took care of the property, or was it shoddy work or cheap craftsmanship? And there was overspray everywhere. It was blow and go, like they painted the deck, and it was had overspray. So you have to factor all this in because you're going behind them, and when you close this property, you are responsible. I also noticed that all the windows were aluminum crap, and it's going to be at least $100 a window if you do it yourself, which these are probably custom sized windows because it's a brick house. So it's at least $100 and at least 3 to 6 weeks to order these windows. And so I would budget at least $300 to do windows. You can get them done, installed, and ordered for about $225, $250. You can get them at Home Depot or Lowe's ordered at $100, $125 a piece, but you still got to factor in labor. So there's a local guy in town in your market, does windows, $250 is a good price. I budget $300 for drama. Why? Because when you start tearing out windows, you start seeing rot and framing needs to be replaced and blah, 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 blah. Okay? So then you go inside the property. And then I got the outside. And so already by the time I spent 15 minutes, by the time I walked around the property. It usually takes 10 or 15 minutes. And I walk around the property. The wholesaler or the realtor, they finally show up. They show up usually good realtors show up 5 or 10 minutes early. Wholesalers are always late. And so by the time they get there, I've already walked around. I've already in my mind have spent $6,000. And so when I walk on inside the property, I already have a perspective like, man, this is not a deal. It was already not a deal at 80. I was doing it for a solid for my friend, walking around the property, and it was worth it for me to drive down there just to teach her exactly what I'm doing and how to do it. Blew her mind. She's like, wow, I didn't know you needed to. Yeah, this is termites right here. Oh, wow, this is this right here. She's like, is this crack a big deal? No, this crack is not a big deal. This is normal Oklahoma extracting, contracting, blah, 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 blah. So I go inside, and this thing is a landlord special. The dude cut corners everywhere. The water heater was out of code, didn't have a drip pan, didn't have a pop-off valve. There was gas smelling in the property. Dangerous. The electrical wire was all janky lank, where it was just just laying there right next to the water heater, exposed. I mean, like, this is a disaster liability to happen. That's a G water heater alone, plus electricity was done wrong. Then in the kitchen, I had to put this on Facebook. I've never seen this before. They had the disposal plug outside where you rinse off dishes so you can plug it in and on. I mean, come on. Then they had contact paper over the Formica. I was like, anyone that took the time, and so this dude that I was trying to coach at the same time, he's like, well, maybe the home. No homeowner did that, bro. Like, that's where you went wrong. No homeowner did that. Like, that's a landlord special. You could tell, look at the floor. This is the cheapest peel and stick tile you can buy at the Dollar General. And then I just started pointing out stuff in the filter box, and the filter box wasn't done right, which they don't never change the filter. So, which is costing the heat and air money, and then the paint, and then go on and on. So, and then I just go by room to room. I usually take an app with me and I'll go over that, the tech class in December 18th or 15th or something, but I go over what apps I use to detail a house out, and I just detail the house out. And then I went back and did the numbers, and then I walked the numbers through her, and it was seriously $20,000. I mean, you could probably get the whole thing done cheap on a ghetto 10 or 15. You got to buy this crib at $60,000 to make it work. Well, she's like, hey, the house is worth $100. I'm like, it's not worth $100. It may be worth $100 on your balance sheet as a market value. It may be worth $100,000 to a banker. It may be worth $100,000 for the appraisal. But here's the deal. When you have a fire sale and you just bought this thing for 80, this dumb wholesaler, and then you put 20 in it, you got 100 in it, you lost money. Why, VanCauwenbergh? Here's the deal. When you sell a house retail, you're going to pay 6% minimum for a good realtor. Then you're going to probably, if it's under $150,000, you're going to have to pay that person's closing costs, which is $5,000. So you're at $10,000, $6,000 in closing. You're at $11,000 right now. So that $100,000 just went down to $90,000. You hear me? And then if you had a fire, then you got holding costs. So yeah, it may be retail 100, but then you got inspections, appraisals, closing costs. So the house is worth an 80 in my mind. I buy it for 60. I put 20 in it. I'm in 80%, which is still high. OG real investors buy houses at 70, 75, all in, no money down, good banker, good private money. But the market's changed, so 80% is okay for today. But listen, if someone actually bought this crib at $80,000, didn't know a dang thing of what they're doing, opening up a can of worms. Oh, the bathroom need to be redone. I mean, it was a disaster in my mind. Now, someone just moved out. The water was flowing. But then if you don't fix it up, then you're going to get a ghetto tenant that's going to tear it up even more. So you just got to do it right from the jump. So if I was just an average person that just jumped into real estate, bought this deal from 80, trusted this wholesaler who has my best interest in mind, Because if he knew what he was doing, he would offer it at the right price and negotiate at the right price. But I don't want to get into that. I'm sorry I'm getting juiced up on these wholesalers. My bad. I know maybe one wholesaler listens to my stuff. Probably no wholesaler listens to my stuff because they know, because they get convicted because what I'm about to say. If somebody bought this deal at $80,000 and they put good hard money into it for $100,000, they lost money. It's not even going to cash flow because that rent only yields $950 to $1,000, even if you pimped it out and put a granted in it. So come on, guys, be better, be a better wholesaler, be a better investor. Don't just get emotional. Walk on a property, walk around it, desensitize, take as many pictures as possible. Write down notes, have a clipboard with a checklist that walks you through everything. Did you look exterior? Did you look interior? Did you look at the sinks? Did you look under the sinks? What's the flooring? How much is the flooring? Is it hard? Is it soft? Is it carpet? Blah, blah, blah. Now, the last tip. Hopefully this was helpful for you. Let your boy know, because I didn't really organize this one. I just kind of off the cuff here. Let me know, and I can do more like this. But here's the tip for you. Take bad photos, not bad photos like they suck. Bad photos accentuate the things that are bad. So I was showing these folks that when you look up on a window, zoom in and look at where the hole is, and then that is a negotiating tactic. I guarantee the investors that are putting in $70,000 offers thinking they're getting a deal are really losing. And so if this really impacted you, I thought about bringing back the old school Savvy Bus tour. So if that brings any interest into you, if you're local or you want to fly in for a whole day Saturday, hey, let's throw a course together. Not a course together. Let's throw a class together. I'm motivated. I'm going big 2020. I'm excited. I'm glad that you're listening. Thank you so much for emailing me, texting me, Facebooking me, letting me know that this is helping you. I love the young people that say, man, your podcast is real and it's inspiring me. Thank you for all the love. But whatever you do, whatever you learn today, buy assets.
What is the Savvy Bootcamp? Are you struggling to get to the next level as a business owner, as an investor? Do you want to multiply your income? Sign up for the Savvy Bootcamp, a strategic and supercharged one-night and one-day event designed to shortcut your learning process and propel you forward. Just value, no upsells, and an intimate setting to build relationships with like-minded investors. We will be covering how personality profiling can make you a millionaire, outsourcing and the nitty-gritty of maximizing your property management, scaling your business through systems and automation, technology hacks you should be using every day, and how to raise private money. Go to www.savvybootcamp.com now to register or to find out more.
Thanks for listening to the Savvy Radio Show. Glide online and listen to our other motivating episodes at savvyradioshow.com. Connect on Twitter at LandlordBook and always be buying assets.